law. Measures to ensure adherence to the principles of the supremacy of law. Yeah. Equality before the law, accountability to the law, and fairness in the application of the law. Separation of powers. Participation in the decision making. Legal certainty, avoidance of arbitrariness, and procedure and legal transparency. I don't think it's very legally transparent to have court hearings where they're not docketed. Yes. Now, there was some brigadier general in the Netherlands Armed Forces. Yeah. Quite a signature that he has there. Pooch. But he was the president of the International Society for Military Law and the Law of War. Yes. Why don't you get me all of the members of the International Society for Military Law and the Law of War? Yes. Because as I was reading it, the military has been involved in a lot of civil military cooperation. Yes. A lot of these nations that, well, they don't enforce the laws. You can bribe a sheriff, a police chief, or a judge to violate your rights. Yes. They really frown on that. Now, this Center of Excellence, the CENTRE, yeah. Do you notice how it's spelled different than the word center in American, CENTER? Yeah. Could you do a web page and a web site search for CENTRE? I'd like to know all these centers of excellence and every member of all the centers, yes, where they thought, ooch, that the military could not cooperate with civilian authorities. Now, it seems like there's some sort of civil military cooperation and interaction. Yes, I had mentioned the Judge General, the Judge Advocate General of the United States military and posse comitatus. They were exempt from that act. Yes, yes, they did. And I thought they were all getting their heads shaved because they refused to be involved. Now it looks like I'm going to involve the other militaries because the United States Army decided they wouldn't be involved. Now there's some tort liability for this, okay? You stupid fuckers in the Now I'm thinking, all right, that when I told you, okay, that having me go to a cell hearing, yes, well, the evidence is I wasn't in Brennan. Pooh. That this allegation of trying to contact the credible threat for the last 7.5 years, yes, yes. I think there are some actual attorneys in the Judge Advocate General's division of the United States military that are liable. Now, when I have to involve the rest of the world's militaries, the European Union, European Union. Looks like they got a lot of acronyms here. Oh my gosh, look at that. Law of Armed Conflict. Ouch, ouch, ouch. The United Nations Organization Stabilization Mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Ouch. And then there's the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, known as NATO. Ooh. Then there's the Rule of Law, the ROL. Coach. Now, well, when you as a military allow for this type of crime to happen, which I think I can sue other nations because now what is the importance of the rule of law? However, one of the main characteristics of a failed and fragile state known as the United States is a weak or non-existent rule of law. Now, when United States is fragile or failed because of the conflict of those right now, there could have been a demolition, yes, of the actual physical infrastructure known as the judicial system of the United States of America. Now, I know you thought physical infrastructure was buildings. Yes. But there was a system that did exist in the United States known as the rule of law. Yes. And this usually results in a lack of educated law professionals. Yes. and a rapid spread of crime and corruption. Oh, now when the judge advocate generals of the United States military said, no, we can't be involved, I thought we had a complete destruction of the actual judicial system of this great nation. And when you decided you wouldn't pick up the phone and answer the fucking phone right now, I decided to.